Hi, what we're doing today is field stripping and then reassembling a Colt 45 ACP. The ACP stands for Automatic Colt Pistol. This firearm was designed by John Browning and adopted by the United States government in 1911. It saw service through World War II and is still seeing service, although not in the military right now. If you noticed, the first thing we're going to look at is when you put a firearm away or when you're presenting a firearm, you always have the slide back so that anyone can look inside the port to make sure that it's empty. We'll talk about different parts as we disassemble it. This being the magazine, not to be confused with the term clip. A lot of times you'll hear a magazine referred to as a clip. A clip is not a magazine. A magazine completely encloses ammunition inside of a casing. A clip merely clips on the back of ammunition and is put into a magazine, which is internal inside of a firearm. The other thing we'll use today is a wrench to take off the bushing on the front of the firearm. That's the way it gets taken apart. And we'll use an Allen wrench just to move different parts. One thing unique about the 45 ACP is there are no screws. Well, there are 4 screws, but they merely hold on the grips on either side. All the other parts are just interlocking or have pins. So first of all, we'll slide the slide back, and this is the slide stop. That will initially cock the firearm. There are a number of different safeties. There is a slide safety and a grip safety on this particular firearm. We'll use the bushing wrench to start the process. Turn it clockwise. You always have to have your hand over the top of this, which is the spring that allows the slide to fly back and forth. You will line up different spaces in one particular spot that allows you to remove the slide stop. The frame comes off. Other internal parts, barrel comes out along with the barrel bushing. I'm saying field strip today because there are other parts of this that can come apart. This whole mechanism that houses the trigger and the hammer can also be disassembled, and this disconnector's inside. There's also a extractor, which is in conjunction with the firing pin on the back. We won't take that apart either. That doesn't need to be taken apart for a true field strip. This being the slide, this being the barrel, this being the frame, this being the barrel bushing, this being the slide spring, and this is a guide for the slide. There's also a small neoprene washer on this guide that helps, that isn't usually stock on this, but it helps with keeping the frame from being battered by the slide during the operation. On the slide, the reason why 45s, they get kind of a bad rap, and during World War II, when people were being taught to fire these things, they were inherently very inaccurate. And the reason for that is all the training firearms were all the parts were put into one big basket to clean, and they were taken out and mixed and matched and put all together. And to get these to be really accurate, there are a few things that needed to be done. One, the barrel bushing needs to be a custom fit in the front. The barrel, it's important. There's a hood, what's called a hood inside, with a lot of different grooves, and the grooves on top of the barrel fit tightly into there. Another thing that has to be done to make this more accurate is to increase this. This is called a link that links the frame and the slide, and the barrel together, and a longer link needs to be put in to force this barrel up in the top. See, the barrel isn't attached to the sights at all, so if everything's sloppy, they don't go back into battery and they don't hook up all together in the same spot. So in essence, if everything's loose, you're not going to have a very accurate shot. So to make these accurate, a little bit of extra stuff need to be done. During World War II, mainly these were used for very, very close combat. You're not going to be taking a 50-yard shot with this. This is going to be maybe 20 feet or less. In reassembly, first we'll start with the slide. We'll put the barrel back in the slide. We'll put the barrel bushing back in. We'll put the spring guide in the top. Put the spring back in. Not unusual to have someone during one of these classes come back with a 45 in a box just full of parts going, what do I do next? We will hold this together, slide the frame back on, put the slide stop back in, reposition the slide. So that this slide stop will go into position. Use the bushing wrench to put the bushing back into position. And there you have a complete field stripped and reassembled 45. Thank you very much.